Trenton said, I know you are not in favor of expanded playoffs. Has this year and the amount of deserving or capable teams who will potentially miss the playoffs changed your mind on expansion? Ohio State, the Pac-12 loser, the SEC loser, could all be problems in the playoffs from Orlando, Florida. Well, there's a lot of teams that could be. Ohio State could be a problem in the playoffs. Sure, they could. Oregon could still be a problem in the playoffs if they made it in. They're not making it in because they don't deserve to be in. No, it hasn't changed my mind. To answer your question, this year has not changed my mind on what the size of the playoff should be. We're going to expand it anyway. We're going to 12 teams. That'll be next year. This time next year, we'll be getting ready for, quarterfinal games on campuses. Let me address one thing, since we haven't touched on this in a while, and we won't very frequently after this. Inevitably, if I've ever debated playoff expansion, and I've said I want 4 and no more, ideally, I'd just love to go back to the BCS for many reasons. And people who support expansion, they've listened to that and they've said, look at these hypothetical matchups. Look at Georgia goes to Penn State in round 1 in Happy Valley in early December. Who says no to this? How could you ever deny this would be a great scene? I've never denied that. The playoff product itself would be awesome, would be wonderful. It will be. It will be awesome to watch. That's not chapter 1 of the book. It never has been. What do you have to lose in order to gain it? And some of you think it's worth losing some of the magnitude of regular season games. Some of you think there'll be more importance on more games. I fundamentally disagree with that, but be that as it may, I've just always been of the opinion that the payoff is not worth the trade-off. So that's it and that's all. I don't deny the games in December will be awesome. I'm going to watch Ohio State and Michigan and know, well, they're going to rematch in the Big Ten title game. Well, they'll probably both make the playoff anyway, regardless of who wins these first 2 games. And that's lame to me. I'm going to watch Penn State lose to Michigan, lose to Ohio State, and then walk out of the stadium thinking, oh, man, that probably drops them all the way down to a 10 seed. That's lame to me. It also takes away a lot of the magnitude of those games. So anyway, 4 is the right size to me. But if you wanted to expand and use this year as evidence, got no problem with it. Now, I don't think the worst thing in the world is people being mad at the end of a football season. But if you wanted to say that we need to expand so we never have a Florida State happen again, I'm cool with it. Why does it need to be 12? Why does it need to be 10? Why does it need to be 8? Why not 6? Why not, why not 4? 2 through 6, and then 1 and 2 having a first round bye. So you work in all that stuff that prioritizes conference champs. By the way, that conference championship tie-in is really going to come back to bite a lot of you because there are 2 power conferences in the future of this sport. And we're still using language being baked into this stuff like there are going to be 4 or 5 of them. I'm telling you, there aren't. There may be quality teams outside the Big Ten and the SEC. There will not be conferences that can tote the jocks of those 2 conferences. And yet we're still talking about automatic tie-ins for these conference champs. We're still talking about the G5 having an automatic spot at the table, and that's always been a ludicrous concept to me. I've always wanted a G5 playoff. That's what I've always wanted. But I get shot down on that, and so I don't even waste my breath on it anymore. But no, I have not changed my mind. But if you want to change my mind, like if you told me, Josh, I've got a proposal right here, every commissioner's ready to sign off on it. It's a 6-team playoff with the first 2 seeds having byes. Will you sign the piece of paper? Yes, I would. I would sign that piece of paper because at the very least, it would keep the sanctity of the regular season. It would prioritize play until the very finish line because you got byes in the first round. It wouldn't let every 10-2 team in the world in, and we would maintain the guarantee that we don't have what just happened anymore. Because I don't like that about Florida State. My only thinking is if you gave me an A-B scenario, and scenario A is keep the 4-team playoff, or B, go to 12 teams, and there's no in between, I'd keep the 4. Because to me, in a decade, we've had one team get legitimately screwed. I haven't thought the other instances were legitimate screw jobs. This thing that happened to Florida State is. Okay? If that is the price we pay, and then on the other side, the price we pay is draining the significance off dozens of regular season games, sorry, I'm going to take scenario A. and I'm going to say I'm sorry to Florida State folks, and I'm going to take scenario A. They don't let me make those decisions, though, fortunately for a lot of you who want expansion, so you're well and good there.